Good morning, everyone. So, I thought it was time to relate a religious journey, especially since the the end of my religious journey, that then I knew 100% which way to go, what my position is as a child of God in this world, on earth, has become a total mess. How can I say that? I live on top of a mountain with no connection to religion, organized religion, in any way. Interestingly, this got me started after having a really nice conversation with my oldest child. I feel I taught them well, because, yeah. I've said this before. If anything, if there's any doubt, if there's any controversy going on with the people of the same faith, this, that, or, yeah, well, money, power, and greed eventually will just worm its way into anything and everything, just about. If one's not careful, one does not put a stop to it. What's it just saying there? I didn't say anything. I might be losing my connection out here. It's windy. It's windy, and it feels still wintry in this month of March. And I thought, this is how it feels sometimes, right? When you're clashing with people, with beliefs especially, right? It's windy, it's cold, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's no warmth to be had here anymore. And what I found is that just about in any organized religion, people become very self-righteous. And, well, what I believe is it, right? It hasn't changed. It's still like that. And people stay in their cocoon and make sure that their cocoon stays intact by attacking everybody around them. And that way, no one will pay attention to them, that they're still in the cocoon. They haven't gotten out of that cocoon, spread their wings, and are actually doing what they're meant to do on earth. Right? Yes? Right, Maddie? Yeah, my little dog. You're cold? You want to go in too? This is like the introduction to more stories. Things that I've experienced, wondered about, got me to where I am at today. I 100% believe in the beginning of earth as God created earth. Over millions of years, in a period of 6 days in the Bible, interesting how the periods of evolution coincide exactly with the 6 days of creation in the Bible. So that should tell us something. Yes, so we shouldn't be so stubborn about certain things and kind of connect the dots and say, oh, okay. In today's world, it's a bit difficult to completely not acknowledge science, right, in certain things. But then, if someone's perfectly fine in the position where they're at, they follow the 10 Commandments and the Lord's Prayer, they're a good person, they're kind, and have a love for God in their heart, then why do you need to know all this extra stuff? But for some people, it's important. And I'm sure there's a reason why that is important. That's their reasons. I don't know. So there is that. And then I guess it depends on how in tune people are with both worlds, earthly life and spirit life, which has been a part of my life since childhood. Real odd. I was always an odd child. I was an odd teenager, and surely everyone will agree I'm an odd adult. Okay, I'm good with that. I know who I am. I know who I am now. And I have to thank true parents for that. I have to thank the divine principle for that. So, is anybody going to go and take that away from me? Oh, that doesn't count because that one didn't do whatever, and so now we need to reestablish. No. You do not decide where my spiritual growth lies, and you do not take away anything from my own spiritual growth within myself as an individual. And you do not take away from my family or my community or my surroundings. You don't get to do that. You also don't get to do that in my nation for what I have worked for in my nation and seen good things happening. Yes, with other people together. And you don't get to take that away from the world. Is that clear? Does that make sense? Yeah. So, that's how anyone that has committed to some religion or this or that should feel when they have reached a certain age and go, wait a second, no, I don't need anyone to tell me what to do anymore. You don't get to do that. If you are happy and content in your life, if you are a person of goodness, if you're a person of goodness, you will not slander and gossip about other people. You just don't. You look at a situation going, okay, is there some restoration needed that I have to be a part of? Or do I just have to continue to be a good example? You see? Yes. So in the last organized religion I was a part of, which was the Unification Church, which then became the Family Federation for World Peace. I don't understand why anybody has to keep changing names of a certain movement, this or that. It's confusing and it doesn't mean anything. Words don't mean anything. I think that the Unification Church, you want to not be at a church, then call it the Unification Movement. Good enough to me. Right? Yeah. So, whatever. You get to the point where, okay. Now, the one thing that I can do continuously, though, is to and show my appreciation for someone else, like true parents, who have given all their life to teach people about the heart of God, heart to mind, the principles of love and the principles of creation, the divine principle. Do I agree with everything in it? No. Do I understand everything in it? No. But I understand enough that it takes study. It takes study and just about, at this time, a lifetime of trying to understand the words given to us through a higher power, no doubt. What's the Bible all about? Right? Yes? So, even in the Bible, the experiences that one has, there are certain things that you can relate to, other things you just can't. And the divine principle is the same thing. I guess it depends on who you are on earth, in life, and which parts are really important to understand in the divine principle, and which ones are, okay, there's more to it. But I don't need to know that. That's not something I'm going to have give and take with. I think that for anyone the first rule should be, if you want to lead a religious life, per se, a religious life, if you want to live a life of belief and purpose, of also spiritual nature, then we should always, number one and foremost, obey God, which are the Ten Commandments. That's it. That's the start. Doesn't need organized religion. You don't need a preacher to tell you. You don't need a king to tell you. You don't need true parents for that either, to begin with. I heard this thing, oddly, I heard that, I heard that, I guess, since a child, that just being kind isn't going to get you to heaven. Yes, just being kind all your life. To not endanger other people's lives with silly notions like drinking and driving, or taking drugs and driving, or even prescription drugs and driving, or high blood pressure and diabetes and driving, and endangering other people's lives. Now, obviously you don't care about your own life, but you should care about other people's lives. Being kind will get you into heaven. You won't need to know anything about anyone. You don't need to know anything about God. Don't need to know anything about Jesus. Don't need to know anything about true parents. Being kind all your life, taking care of yourself, your family, your surroundings, all your life, recognizing the beauty, and however you want to, then that was given, or just is. Yeah, it'll be enough to get you into heaven, believe it or not. Organized religion is for the sick and unhealthy. Organized religion is trying to teach you a trade, how to be a good human being. Yeah. And then even there are some that are, trying to derail you to believing certain things that doesn't have anything to do with kindness anymore. Yeah, see? Yeah. Well, anyway, that's my introduction to my journey. And it's windy. Not a big fan of wind, but it's windy. It's cold. Might snow, I don't know. That's kind of how our life's journey is like. We don't quite ever know what the weather's going to be like, even though we got weather stations and we can predict now, per se, what the weather's going to be like. Living on a mountain on a farm, I'd say maybe 20%, 25% of the time they're right. The other 75% of the time they're wrong. And yes, you never quite know what you're going to get. But if you're prepared for anything, then it doesn't matter, does it? Yes? Strengthen your heart to mind. Strengthen your soul. Strengthen your own being. Then to become an exceptional human being. Have an exceptional family that you're 100% proud of. And what you have established that you can be 100% proud of. I'm a human being like that. I'm incredibly proud of my children, my family. I'm incredibly proud of what I've built up in my life. Yeah. With very little. Exceptional grandchildren. That's what I wanted to share to begin with. And encourage everyone again, please, even if you're unhappy with what people have to say, there are certain cuss words. Please don't use them, especially if they are in the realm of love and the principles of love. Do not use those. There are other ways to let someone know you're not happy with their comment, right? Yes? Okay. Guys, love and blessings always, and we'll talk to y'all another time.